Hello friends, it's me again, Rachel Olson, speaking to you from Barichara, Colombia, and today I am in the Bioparque Mancora in the place that we refer to lovingly as the food forest because that's what it is, or that is what it's becoming. And this is the place that Joe has been working on for several months, and many of us who come to visit end up here. Also, many people locally come here to help out um, and to watch what happens. And this has become kind of a lovely nature connecting point and playground. And I thought I would just take a little walk around, show you some things, and tell you a little bit about what I've learned since I've been here. Now, keep in mind that I'm a rank beginner at this, so those of you who have who are accomplished in permaculture and syntropic agroforestry and some of these other really cool things, this will all just probably seem very basic to you, but to me it's all, I'm a little bit like Alice in Wonderland here. Everything is cool and marvelous, including things as simple as pulling grass. And I'm going to flip the camera around and show you a big part of what has caused this piece of ground to be transformed. Okay, so if you look out onto this field in front of me, what you will see is lots and lots of this, what is really an invasive grass species. And while it might be somewhat better in some ways than just bare ground trampled down by herbivores, it isn't actually a helpful species. It prevents biodiversity and even water retention in a way that has not necessarily been helpful. So the mission has been, at least to start with, you'll notice here that the grass, you can see the line where it ends. This whole area, of which I'd say is probably about a half an acre, maybe a little less. This with pickaxes and human labor, we've pulled the grass up and created piles, such as this one. And if you take this pile and mix it with goat manure and then cover it, as you see the one in the distance there, that black mound, that's the covered pile. There's a couple of them over there. They eventually become fantastic compost. And then as plants are put into the ground, such as this little tree that you see here, as they're planted, we put this wonderful new compost in the ground with them, and slowly but surely it becomes part of the landscape. And if you look and see, the ground has been shaped slowly but surely in these little retention pools and streams that will eventually, when the hard rains come, these will become areas where water collects and runs, and will continue to clear grass and continue to snake these little pools and streams down the hill, so that eventually the ground will hold the water table will be increased, and eventually there will be a river. That's how I've been told it works, and so far I believe it. So let me just walk around and show you the different plantings that have been done. So most of these are just native species. I think this down here is this little guy here is a mango. I don't know that much about the species yet. I'm still learning. But I know that these are plants that are resilient enough to survive these long periods without rain. Here is the ceiba tree. It got a little bit, it was lunch for the tree cutter ants a few weeks back, but it's still hanging in there, and we're waiting for the next crop of leaves to come. This is the deepest dug area, and you can see this is the oldest part, and you can see that the plants are starting to fill in. There's the plants that were planted, and then the leaves from the trees fall and they create mulch, And then the other just native species, as seeds blow around and are planted, they start taking root. And every time it rains, there's more greenery. Every time it rains, new stuff shows up. Over here you can see this little setup here is the rainwater collection area. There's a roof area, the water falls, it goes into the gutter, down the pipes and fills these 2,000-liter tanks. And this is what allows us to keep watering these new growth areas in between the times when there's enough rain to sustain them. So this is where we spend our afternoons. It's a holy place in a way for us, a gathering place. It's a community place. It's it's a hopeful place. Say hello to Sebastian.
What's up?
Hello.
Say hello to this grasshopper. It's just so appealing. Oh no, it's not a grasshopper. It's like one of those.
Yeah, there are no shortage of critters. We saw a beautiful big green lizard the other day. So, yes. This is a dream that is coming into being, and by doing this work, we connect with the land, we connect with each other, we connect to all different aspects of the local community. There are many people who come here sometimes they've heard about what's happening and they want to see. We also have local people who come up here on a regular basis to help because it just feels really good to do that. In fact, let me show you one last thing, and maybe that will be where I leave you for today, because I'm kind of excited about this, even though it's going to be a long time before we see the fruit of this, and I mean that literally. We have just got a new addition to the food forest. Let me turn the camera. This lovely shrub, I cannot remember the name of it, of course, because I'm terrible with those things. But what I do know is that it grows fruit, but it takes about 8 years after it's planted for the fruit to grow. And that it comes from Brazil, but that they do grow around here, and that it was given as a gift by some other members of the community who are very actively involved in their own reforestation projects. And it was a way to, I think, say thank you, to create a bond of solidarity between people who think alike and who have the same vision for what's possible here. So anyway, I'll show you. We just planted it the other day, and it already has new little leaves on it. It's already seems to be very happy to be in the ground here. So we really look forward to seeing that grow and bear fruit. And in about 8 years, this area will look completely different. And I mean, this is a 20-year project, is what Joe says. So we'll continue to push back the grass. We'll continue to make compost. We'll continue to plant and play, because a lot of it is just, using basic permaculture principles. But also, the land tells us what it wants. It decides what works and what doesn't, and we get to listen and pay attention and learn from that as well. So anyway, in years to come, really looking forward to seeing fruit on this bush and all kinds of wonderful things that are going to happen here. So I think that's enough for today. I thank you so much once again for being part of this journey, for listening, for caring, and would just invite you to continue to support the work of the Earth Regenerators in whatever way you can, whether it's, through making it possible to sponsor people like me or other skilled workers to come here to be part of this, or working on things that are applicable in your own backyard, wherever you may be. So, yes, just no matter what else is happening in the world, I know in my heart this is good and this is right, and this is something we can all be proud of. So, with that, I offer blessings to everyone and much love. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.